Hi dear friends, today we're going to look a little bit deeper into the relationship between art and taijiquan and Qigong, and this time we're going to look at flowers. Oké, nu gaan we beginnen. Okay, so you wanted to learn how to draw flowers, right? And at the moment when you draw flowers, I'm also going to tell you a little bit about how that relates to your Kung Fu, okay?
Okay.
That's a very important part. First of all, when you see a flower, there is always a heart, and there is a thing around it, and there is a stem, right? So all flowers, they're basically following this formula. When you take a light color pencil, you'd make the same drawing, right? A heart, and you have the circle around it, and you have the stem. Say the stem is like this. Then the heart can be just a little bit fuzzy. You can make it a little bit spirally so that it really looks like something important. Then, for instance, you can make it like a petaled leaf. Petal on the opposite side. Petal on this side. Petal on this side. And a petal on this side. See? Now you have, it's a little bit like a viooltje. Okay, you see? So there's a little bit of shadow in there. You see the shadow? So that means that this is more in front of the other ones, right? You can understand that? Okay. So then when you have the stem behind it, right? The stem has basically, this is basically the body of the flower, right? This is the
Head.
Attract this one. With this they try to attract attention from the bees, right? So every flower, when you look at it, this is just something to attract bees and wasps and other insects, and they have to go sit on this because there's a slimy stuff on this. So you have to understand that this has to look a little bit more rough, and this has to look a little bit smooth. And this smoothness, yes, this smoothness also at the same time. Besides having a shape, also has usually a color, and this color is meant to attract the vision of the insects. They usually have a limited sense of color, of what they can see and what they cannot see, right? So they can only see, this has to attract to this. So the lines of the leaves are as important as are the, see what I do? That makes the flower a little bit like the sun. See, if you have the sun, yeah, there's light coming out from there, you see? So it radiates in all directions. So it's a little bit like a flower also. You see this?
You can turn the sun. You can turn the sun into a flower.
No, yeah, they can do that, but it's sunflowers and called, right? But we come back to that later. But look, there's the stem. So the stem, of course, is behind, right? So it's in the shadow because the flower is always directed towards the sun, right? It's always directed towards the sun. So the stem is like a tube. So you draw it also like a tube. And there can be leaves on top of it too. Yes. So that gives it depth. Then at the moment when you look at the space behind it, there's just general darkness behind it because there's contrast with the environment, right? The same way when you practice your Kung Fu, you're always doing this in the space around you. So you always have to be aware of the space around you, because if you're not aware of the space around you, your movements are in emptiness. They're in a void. They have no purpose, right? So this is a very important part. So you see, this is how you very quickly make like that. So flowers in itself, they're not difficult to draw, right? So now it comes out from the background. So when you are practicing your taijiquan or your long form Kung Fu, same. The way how you shape yourself, you make yourself different from the environment. And your hands, they are like the flowers, right? So the hands, they have to attract attention. They are hypnotizing the opponent, right? So every time when you pray taijiquan, your hand moves around, your fingers move around, they all hypnotize the person.
Can I show you how I draw a flower?
Can I first finish my lesson? Yes? Because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. So this is one kind of flower. But if you look at another flower, like say there's the sunflower, yes, it is exactly the same. See? The sunflower, they have a lot of different kind of star-shaped flower. You see why I draw the sun before, right? You see that there's a lot of different kind of petals here. And all these petals that are here, yes, they're filling up the sunflower body, creating a lot of attention to the center. See? Everywhere here. They're behind each other, they're behind each other, they're behind each other. So they're always filling up. See? So the more petals the flower has, the flower, how do you call it? The
Paardbloem?
paardbloem in Dutch, in English is
Dandelion?
dandelion, yes, dandelion, exactly. So it's exactly the same, have a lot of different kind of petals. And the middle, for the sunflower, yeah, is like a roster, because this is where the seeds come in. So normally when it's fresh, it's just dots, like here. But once it starts growing, it's a raster of all these different seeds, then it's full grown. The backside of the flower, if you look at the backside of the flower, always has this kind of shape. So this is the stem, right? And this is the holder. So this holds the flower. And then you have the leaves coming out from here. There are only 4 flowers. See?
Theirs are not even.
It doesn't matter, flowers are not always that even.
Nope.
So
one is like this, and then the other one's like this.
You can see the inside of the stem is hollow. So the shape that you have here is flexible. This flexibility is like your arms in Kung-Fu. Your arms are flexible, they're round and so on. And your shoulders, basically, they hold your arms. So this is your stem.
Are bones hollow?
Your bones are hollow. There's marrow inside, and this marrow is what feeds the blood. This is where the food comes through, right? This is actually the nourishment of your body. This is where your blood comes through in your body, right? Here is the water from the flower, the food saps. Yes, it also goes outwards in different directions. So when you look at it like this is the actual shape from the flower on the outside. So if you make a small branch, like with a lot of different kind of flowers, this is the branch, like you draw before the cherry blossom tree, right? So there's a lot of different kind of flowers there. See, every flower is like that. You see it? So the branch, side branches, everywhere have flowers on it. Tree flowers usually are like that, but ground flowers are like this. Yes? Okay. When you draw flowers on the ground, right? This is like this is the soil, right? You draw the flowers. The flowers are in perspective, so they're not all at the same level. So they overcross the horizon of the floor, and then you have the flowers on top of it. In the middle, flowers on top of it. But it's never only flowers, right? There's also grass. Grass come in all directions. Seeds from the grass. So everything is mixed at the same time. So then in between you have a lot of space for things like shadows. Your movements, when you're moving with somebody else in your Kung Fu, also is like that. So there's a lot of shadows between you and somebody else. Also when you normally talk and you play with your friends, there's always shadows between you. This is the dark spots where usually the interaction actually starts, right? This is the yin parts of your relationship with these people. So when you talk with people, you continuously have these dark places between you. This is your subconscious in Western language. Your subconscious is from your body. This is, your body has a particular kind of idea of awareness, and this is what we develop in Kung Fu, right? In your drawings, the shadows are equally important as are the actual shapes. See? So when there's a leaf coming here, right? The shadow between them is important. The shadow outside is like that is the same. It's similar like in constructivism in modern art, 20th century art actually. Yes? You understand a little bit? Constructivism you don't understand, but for adults they should understand it because it's an important part of modern history. Yes? You understand? The relationship between the sun and the flower head and the stems and the shadows, these are two very important parts of drawing flowers. Even on the tree, when you have the tree, the branch of course have different kind of shadows in it. As between the flowers there's shadows, and you can make as many flowers as you want. Yes? You want to try making some tree with flowers or flowers on the floor?
Flower on the floor.
Okay, just go ahead. Yeah, you have to draw with left because of your hand. Huh? You can start light so that you can make a trial drawing. Wait. Oh, put you in front of. Yeah. Okay. I'll come back in a moment.
I want to make a circle.
Just start whatever you want. You're the master now. I'm not going to say it's good or bad, I just let you draw and sometimes I will say something. Everything depends on your observation skills, so the more you can see from nature, the more you can add in your drawings. When you start making drawings, usually you only draw what you have remembered from some things. If you never really paid attention to things, you never saw things. So the whole skill of being an artist is learning how to look and how to actually also see things. So it's not just a matter of looking. Okay, so. You speak out loud, sweetie. You don't have to be soft.
I make these circles from the nectar.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can make drops of nectar if you want.
Hoe zeg je dat in Engels?
Nectar, yeah.
What wist ik?
You knew it, yeah.
No, actually not.
Go drawing. Don't waste camera time. Although, art is not really bound to time. Things take their time. You're making crown leaves around it?
Blaadjes.
Yeah.
I'm making leaves. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. I was otherwise going to teach you about it, but you already have the idea. So that's a very good observation. You have to make sure that it's always around the middle from the flower, right? So all the leaves have to point to the middle. That's maybe too many.
I like extra.
Yeah. It's like mandala drawing.
Mm-hmm.
And the drawing becomes like a trance that you are working in. Because you fill in all the details all the time. Oh, you picked something up from the video with Demis about the leaves. Very good. I'll just continue. This is the charcoal sticks that we used to draw with in the past. Oh, this one's very thin.
Okay.
Not for kids.
I was making a flower from the water.
What?
I was making a water lily.
But that's not a water lily, that's a different shape.
Oh, no, I don't need.
This is a flower that can grow in a plant when you look at it from the top. So that means that the soil is everywhere around it. Because there's so many leaves around it. It's not just from the crown leaves from the flower, but it's from the plant itself. You've basically been drawing sort of a violet flower. You could be drawing this like when it's in a pot, so then you have to make a round circle around it, more like a mandala.
That's what I'm doing.
Ah,
Then with earth.
I already thought like that.
Some leaves sticking out.
Yeah, so this is how you create depth, by not being exactly in the lines. Like there was in taijiquan, Gongfu, Neidan Taiji, Neidan Kung Fu, there was this Sun Lutang, very famous Kung Fu master, and every time when he was practicing he did the forms exactly the same as the times before. And that means there was no life in his forms. He was technically very good, he was also very strong. And he's still seen as a very big example. When I look at my Shifu, he was trained by a brother of Sun Lutang. His way of doing Tai Chi Chuan is way more organic, so it's never twice exactly the same. It's more like the idea of an art. And the one method from Sun Lutang is more the method of a soldier. So if everything is every time exactly the same, it becomes more like a military art, like when you draw manga.
Now I'm gonna make the
pot.
round.
Yeah, the ridge.
The ridge.
The rim.
The rim.
Yeah. So when you make every time the same style of drawing, everything is exactly the same, it becomes military style. But at the moment when you make it organic, oh, that's a nice clay pot. That's nice. When you make it organic, and it's every time it's a little bit different. Is the top round or is it?
This is top.
Yeah, but is it a round?
Yeah, it's round. But I can't really draw a circle.
Okay, so that means that. No, I mean, is the top is like this shaped, or is it just straight? If you make a cross line through it, because if it's round, you need to make shadow around it like this.
Yeah, but I'm making the detail of the pot.
Sure. You really like mandala drawing, huh? The drawing becomes more like a meditation to calm your mind. you pay your taijiquan attention to all the details, it becomes a little bit similar like that. You create a meditative trance, and this meditative trance is like seeing all the details.
It's hard to write with
Well, you're doing
left.
very
It's
good with your left hand. Not bad at all.
Can't make any circles or straight lines.
Oh, for most artists that's a problem, so don't worry. You have to practice making circles with your hands, drawing.
No, but with right I can do it, but not with left.
But doesn't really matter, it's just a matter of practice.